Houston and Iowa State did not disappoint tonight. I tabbed it, the game of the year in the Big 12. It lived up to the billing. I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams were in the Final Four. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 7 guys on the court tonight that are going to be playing in the NBA sometime very soon. The environment in Ames, Iowa, first and foremost, was electric. This was peak college basketball, exactly why you tune in to watch these big-time matchups during the regular season. These guys cared. They were hustling. There were so many loose balls where multiple bodies were down on the floor throughout the course of this game. That's what you want to see in a game like this. It started off in this game with Iowa State setting the tone, and Joshua Jefferson, he was on fire to start. Iowa State had a kill shot before the game even really started. He is a legit prospect, in my opinion, at the next level. I think he should be getting more buzz. I know he's a little bit older, but to me, his frame reminds me of like a Paolo Banchero. He's not quite as physical. He's a few pounds slimmer. He's not quite as imposing of a presence, but he shoots the ball a little bit better, and he's a fantastic facilitator. There were a few dump-off passes that he had in the short roll tonight that were incredibly impressive, led to easy dunks for his teammates. It was really fun to watch him take over early in this game. On the other side, Emmanuel Sharp kept Houston in it. He didn't have an impact really in the second half, but in the first half, Emmanuel Sharp was a flamethrower. He couldn't miss. He had a pull-up 3 from NBA range, probably about 36-footer, 35-footer. It was incredible. He pulled up from deep. He knocked it down. It was the shot of the night, in my opinion, in the first half. And there were so many tough shots that were made in the first half. The entire first half, it felt like these defenses were clicking on all cylinders, and these offenses just didn't care. It was a shot-making clinic. That shot-making fell off in the second half because the defenses were so good throughout the entire game. The defenses won in 2 different ways. Houston won with their length, their intensity, and especially in the second half, their activity on the defensive boards. Iowa State, they won with timely double teams, with sound defense, and just tenacious one-on-one battles. The battle between Traore on Flemings throughout the entire game was really fun to watch, and Kingston Flemings is not scared of the moment. I mentioned earlier today that Kingston Flemings just shows up for big games. He just shows up for these ranked games. He looked comfortable. He was an organizer offensively for Houston's offense. He made incredibly tough shots. There was a point in the second half when Houston was going on their run where he just collected the offense, he waved everybody off, and then he rocked his defender to sleep into a pull-up 3. He is the real deal. He's going to be one of those guys that I mentioned that is going to be playing at the next level and playing a big role in the NBA as well. Milos Momcilovic, he is an elite shot maker. That guy, I thought he was just a spot-up shooter. I've watched a few Iowa State games, and he's been a spot-up shooter. I mentioned 50+% from 3 this year on 7.5 3-pointers per game. But there was a off-the-dribble movement 3-pointer that he made in this game that was just unreal. That's such a difficult shot. One of those first-half shots that was just like, whoa. And you knew that this game was something special. And in the second half, it was a game that completely shifted from shots going in. Iowa State dominated the boards in the first half, and then Houston. They came out in the second half, and they just dominated the boards. Chris Sinak was awesome in the second half. The second half stats for Chris Sinak, he had 7 points and 10 boards in the second half alone. That's unreal. And for the freshman, he made such a huge impact. Houston went on a huge run. They got up by 10 points, but then Iowa State, they just didn't go away. They could not make a 3-pointer in the second half. They were 0 for 9 from 3 to start. And then Bateman made a 3 with about 6 minutes left to finally break the seal. But even then, Iowa State didn't make another one until Bateman again in the corner with 2 minutes left made a massive 3 to put Iowa State within a possession. Then the ball somehow found its way to Nate Heisey. Corner 3, down by 2. He knocks it down as the shot clock's expiring. It was one of the shots of the game. It was such a clutch bucket from Heisey. He was involved throughout the entire course of the game. He played such a huge impact in this one, and I thought it was really telling. that Lipsy, the local kid from Iowa, he was the one who was on the floor most in this game. He's playing in his senior year at Iowa State. It's clear coming down the stretch run of the season that he just wants it. You watch him play with a certain tenacity. He just wants it. I thought it was fitting that Iowa State, bad free throw shooting team, they missed the opening 1-and-1 free throw to seal the game. Lipsy gets the offensive board and seals the game for the Cyclones in Iowa State. This was an incredible ball game. It was the game of the year in the Big 12, but another one might be coming up because Houston and Arizona play this weekend on Saturday. What were you looking for in this game? What excited you most about this incredible Big Monday matchup on ESPN between Iowa State and Houston in what was a thriller in Ames, Iowa, in an electric environment? Tell me about it. Tell me what you're looking to watch over the course of this college basketball slate, because it is such a great week for college basketball. And it was punctuated at the start by an elite game between Iowa State and Houston.